from Bugeye Guy, and here's a very special moment for us. This is Caitlyn Jenner's Bugeye, our first big celebrity project, and it's very exciting for us because we put so much into this car to absolutely make it spectacular. We obviously know a lot of people will see this car once Caitlyn bums around in it, so we want it to be particularly special, and of course that's what the customer was asking for as well. So we pulled out all the stops on this one. We took a Bugeye that was not a concours car, but a good car, and then we absolutely threw everything at it that we thought would make it spectacular, and it's been a really exciting project, and it's about done now. This is one of our final test drives. Of course, this is a Dad tribute car, so it's Dad's Sprite. We put on this locking and flip-up fuel cap, which is a nice period-looking accessory, and then we have new bumper overriders and this twin tip exhaust. And I was thinking a lot about these subtle details. I think what's most important to us, having now been through about 190 Bugeyes, is preserving the integrity of the whole Bugeye mystique. The sort of brand and the identity of a Bugeye is a car that doesn't necessarily have a metallic finish. This is a single stage paint job. But then for this kind of a customer and for those other high-level customers out there, we want it to absolutely pop and look spectacular. So you see a very well prepared and sanded finish with a lot of reflection and depth to it. But it's single stage. It doesn't have this kind of modern metallic flake. And that said, on my own personal car, I just painted it with a non-stock metallic two-stage paint job. So those cars are out there. But in the case of this particular car, which has these red wheels and white wall tires, it has a very nostalgic feel to it. And yet we brought in what we feel are tasteful, modern improvements. For example, we've powder coated this stanchion and this windshield frame, and of course we've replaced all this rubber. On so many Sprites, that rubber has perished over time, and it's not easy to change, so a lot of people neglect that. We've put in a larger rear view mirror. We've upgraded the interior with new panels and rib door liners and even a cup holder in the center. We've got, on this car, it came with a non-stock dashboard with modifications, which again through the years was quite common on Bugeyes, but we restored this back to all the correct original stuff in the right place. It's got this little storage bin here we got some spare keys, and then we have tops and tonneaus and the correct gray and restored top bow frame, and bags for the tops and tonneaus and windows. That's all in there. A restored steering wheel, so there's this nice, the original, beautiful period piece, but restored with a mirror finish the way it would have looked new. And then a really nice bullet mirror here, but mounted in the windshield frame. These are all things that we sell in our catalog. And just overall, you look at this car and it's 100% Bugeye with a whole bunch of modern cosmetic and performance improvements. And I think more than anything on Bugeyes, sometimes people want to go, in my humble opinion, a little too far and turn it into something other than a Bugeye. We are constantly trying to stretch that envelope, and I'll show you under the hood what we did there. So under the hood on Caitlyn Jenner's Bugeye, you see this marvelous supercharger with a K&N lifetime air filter, an aluminum radiator, and an alternator, and all these improvements to take a stock 1275 Sprite engine and make it absolutely sing. And especially in the upper ranges, this is where you can really gain a whole new identity for a Sprite. And so for us, this is well within the envelope of what a Bugeye would be. Of course, there were Judson superchargers and Shorock superchargers back in 1959 or 1960. Common upgrades that people would add, or popular upgrades. So to put a supercharger on isn't really out of the question, and this is much more modern. Those Judsons are not something I have enjoyed. I don't find them to work very well. But this is all modern stuff that actually works, and it brings a wonderful new life to these engines. So when does a Bugeye stop becoming a Bugeye? Well, that's a very subjective question. Everybody has a different measurement of that, but we feel like this car retains all of the Bugeye authenticity with some wonderful upgrades. And in a minute we'll go for a drive and see if you can get a feel for what a delight it is to drive this car. In fact, one other thing, these are 155 tires. The stocks were 145s. Periodically we get cars in here that have had, 185s, 205s, and it just destroys the ride quality of the car. It changes the steering, and it changes the bump quality, the suspension, the ride quality, the drivability. It all suffers, and everybody wants more handling and more performance. But in the case of this car, 155 tires make for the fun and the wheel spin and just the joy that was built into the Bugeye when it was new. So let's go for a drive in this Caitlyn Jenner supercharged Bugeye. We have other little things just in case you notice this in your field of vision. That's for the trickle charger. So we add an outlet there that can just hang out under the dash for easy access. And anyway, so we have an electric fuel pump. We'll need a little choke because the engine's cold. And that's how you light it up. And it's a 4-speed non-synchro first gear, so I go into second first. And we're off. Special about this car is below 3,000 RPMs, it's pretty much a stock 1275, but above 3,000, that's when this thing really comes to life. And it just brings about a whole new relationship with an A-Series engine. See why our test drives are so important. This has a horn issue with the grounding of the column that we'll need to fix. You could perhaps hear those beeps from turning when the column's in just the right place. It's shorting to the horn, so we'll get on that right away. We need to fix that. Anyway, a spectacular car with a horn that needs some work from BugeyeGuy.com.